Okay, how's everybody doing today? We're doing the first installment on the home hack series from Professional Chef. That'd be me. Just to let you know a little about me, I've been working in restaurants all my life. Um, I've been a professional chef for about 14, 15 years now. I've done a lot of different things in a lot of different ways and prepared a lot of different types of food and drink and such and such. So I decided to make a little series of videos about things that you might be interested in doing at home. Um, Fancifying up your life a little bit, and having a dinner party, a cocktail party, a romantic dinner for two, or a holiday meal or something, and how to make those things better for you. So the first one we're going to do is the aforementioned dinner party or cocktail party. Probably more cocktail party oriented, but the same rules or advice apply. So what we're going to do is go through, I got about 8 sort of bullet points of things that can really help you knock it out of the park, as they say, hit the proverbial home run. So we're going to go through them point by point real quickly. The first one, and the reason I have this first is because it's probably the most important thing about a dinner party or a cocktail party, is knowing your audience. If you don't know your audience, you're sunk immediately, probably. I'm doing my hair here, like that matters. No matter what you make, you can be the best chef in the world, the worst chef in the world. If it doesn't appeal to your audience, you're sunk, and failure is going to be your only result. Quick example, and it may seem very obvious, but it's super, super important that you match your production with your audience. Okay, so say for example, you're making the best steak in the world. You've got 30-day dry-aged ribeye, and you seared it up perfectly and made a perfect sauce, and the temperature came out great, and you sliced it perfectly and delivered it hot on the plate. But you didn't take the time to research your dinner party, which could be a bunch of people from work or something, and realize that, oh man, I got 10 people at my dinner party and 8 of them are vegans. So you're pig Latin, how about oods gray? Again, it's a simple, obvious example, but it's very, very important. You've got to match your party, your event, with the people that are attending it. It's very, very simple. First rule, and it applies to all the other rules, so I put it first. So a couple of questions to ask yourself. What's the mix or the ratio of men to women? I don't want to sound sexist here, but I think we could probably all agree that culinarily speaking, you're going to have some general differences between men and women. If you have a party of all football watching dudes, you can bust out the wings. If you're having a brunch party of ladies for like a baby shower or something like that, they could like wings, but chances are they might like some other fare. So you kind of want to know your men to women ratio, just to know what kind of things you want to serve. Very importantly these days are the next two considerations. One is how many vegetarians or vegans do you have? Back in the old days it was almost not thought about at all, but now it is, and it's very, very important. If they're vegetarians or vegans, you need to know that, and you need to make accommodations for them. Very, very simple. The next one is equally as important, and that's you need to determine whether or not there are people who have dietary restrictions for whatever reasons, or food allergies, because the last thing you want to do is make somebody sick at your dinner party, right? And keep this in mind when you're planning these things. It may seem like a lot of information to have to assimilate into your plan, but it will inevitably increase the level of success that you have if you're planning a cocktail party or dinner party or any sort of get-together where food and or drink are served. Because the more attention you pay to people's individual needs, the more they're going to like you, and the more they're going to like the environment, and the more they're going to like their experience, so it'll be more successful to you. And if the purpose of your gathering is, for example, to impress your boss or something like that, to woo clients, then you absolutely have to do that. And if you don't, you're silly, because chances are you're going to fail. So a little bit of research into the type of people that you're going to be serving the more research you can do, no matter how you get the information, the better off you're going to be 100% of the time. And trust me, I've done a lot of these types of things. I'm not speaking out my here. I know this to be fact. Next, you kind of want to get an understanding of the general level of sophistication of your diners or your attendees. If they're people that are used to caviar and lobster, you might want to go a little bit more upscale. If they're folks that just like pepperoni pizza, then you might want to go a little bit simpler, because chances are, just to go further with this analogy, your pepperoni pizza guy probably won't want caviar and lobster, and even if it's the best caviar and the best lobster, he's not going to like it because he's not familiar with it. He doesn't know the taste. He doesn't know the flavor, and then vice versa. If you have people that do nothing but subsist on fine dining every day, they're probably not going to enjoy something as base and simple as chicken wings or pepperoni pizza. Okay, so next question would be, how close are you to your guests? Again, if this is all family or like your closest friends, you've got a lot more wiggle room, and if you do make some mistakes or take some chances, it's not going to affect you negatively. You probably still have a good time. Everyone's going to have some beers and eat whatever you eat. But do understand this. Those people are also less likely to criticize you. So you could make huge mistakes or significant mistakes, and if they're your friends and family, they're probably just going to say, "Oh, it's great, it's great, it's great." But we'll cover that in a little bit. Next question: what's the purpose of your gathering? Like I briefly mentioned previously, if it's just a family gathering or a friends gathering for no particular reason other than for friends getting together, it doesn't have to be as formal. But if you're trying to convince somebody of something or impress somebody, like if it's a wedding or your boss is coming over, or like I say, you're trying to convince a client to I've worked in restaurants so long I don't even know what you'd convince clients of. But you would probably have to convince them of something, right? So if you're convincing somebody of something or trying to impress somebody, then obviously you want to be a little bit more formal and take a little bit more time in presenting everything. So next, and this is along the same lines, take the time to educate yourselves on the preferences of these people. I'll continue this a little bit later.